arranged for get Recently, I arranged for a get together of Radhanath Swami and our big screen, Mataji screen.
Sorry, Mataji, let me scroll it up.
Our big lovingly. Recently, I arranged for a get together of Radhanath Swami and our big Bhakti family at my residence. But before it all begins, we parents pleaded for peace and talking, taking pity on us. Our brigade of kids marched to the terrace, a floor above. Their destination was wisely chosen. The concrete slab of the terrace was too thick for their shrieks to penetrate through, and they numbered only 15, too less to bring the slab down. After the get together, as Radhanath Swami stood to leave, the brigade marched down and then to where we stood. Guri, Gauridas, my nephew, took it upon himself to introduce his comrades to Radhanath Swami. This is Gandharvika, this is Rasika, this is Gopika, this is Bal Govind, this is Jayananda. Radhanath Swami heard all the names. Then, with a teasing smile, he told Gauridas, "Thank you, Gauridas, but let me tell you something. It is I who gave all of them their names." Everyone exploded into laughter. I remembered how we had sought his guidance while even naming our kids, and every time he gave a name, there was a warm feeling that Radhanath Swami was all ours. Mysteriously, I have heard from many that they too feel the same, that Radhanath Swami is all theirs. My conclusion, it is characteristic of God that he can be personal with everyone, and by his grace, his devotees can also display a fragment of that potency.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Chiara Mataji, would you like to read the next one?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, I'm driving.
Oh, okay, Mataji.
Thank
Anisha
you.
Mataji, would you like to read the next one, Anisha Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. On a pilgrimage with Rana Swami. In 1990, I again visited Vrindavan, a holy place in North India. I had been there 50 odd times before and knew its every nook and corner. Things have changed little with time in these relatively remote places. So even on this visit, everything looked familiar. But with Swami accompanying me, everything felt mysteriously different. His discourses, his devotional songs, and his very presence seemed to unveil the hidden spirituality of that holy place. Every day we travel on foot, from dark to dusk, visiting different places in Vrindavan, temples, hermitage, holy shrines, and forests. Witnessing his devotion for Vrindavan, I was humbled. For the first time, I realized that a holy place went deeper than its mere geography. Ashok Parekh. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So, um, Shreyash Prabhu has not joined yet. So, Journey Home, I only have the book, and I don't have the web version to share screen. Any of you have the books with you? Or maybe we will just read another pastime. Let us see if Shreyas Prabhu can join at 10:30. So, okay, who would like to read the next pastime? It's a small one. Let me read it. From Chillums to Chants. After reading Radhanath Swami's The Journey Home, I too am inspired to write about my journey from chillums to chants, from discourse to discourses. By chillums and discourse, one forgets the miseries of life, but chanting gives the strength to tolerate miseries, while Radhanath Swami's discourses provide knowledge to overcome them. Hari Bol. Written by Mr. Ripon. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, anyone would like to read the next one? Please unmute.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji.
Sorry,
Yes, Chair Mataji.
you go first.
Please go ahead.
I stopped the clock. Okay.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so nice of you.
Okay. So the unforgettable dim light night. I don't know if it's the right pronunciation, dim light. An unforgettable night. It was pitch dark except for the faint light that shimmered from the crescent moon and the stars above. I felt really love touch my heart and cry. I looked around and discovered more crying faces. Radhana Swami's devotional singing, having filled the silent skies, was now slowly seeping into our hearts. We, numbering around 3,000, were seated at the holy spot of Manmandir, Barsana, a place whose descriptions also appears in Radhanath Swami's autobiography, The Journey Home. It's a favorite spot of pilgrimage for Radhanath Swami and his followers alike. Amidst that soul-touching experience, it all of a sudden dawned on me that I was crying after 10 years. I was habituated to killing my sentiments with alcohol and drugs, for I had concluded that sentiments always culminate in misery. Whenever I had nurtured loving sentiments toward someone, I had eventually suffered the misery of a broken heart. But now, when Radhana Swami tapped into my sentiments again, I didn't want to restrain them. Through his song, I was able to channelize my sentiments to love God, and God is someone who never breaks anyone's heart. Grateful. Wow, thank you.
Hare
Thank you for
Krishna.
this. Very
So beautiful. So, okay. All right. Let us reflect on what we have read until now and see. Anybody would like to say a few words about what got what inspired you and what you would like to take home with you in the pastimes that we read today. So, would anyone like to say something? Okay, I would like to say something. Actually, the first two pastimes that we read were 2000, December 2010 and January 2011. I mean, it is December 2010 actually. And I had the fortune of attending that yatra, South India yatra. I went for that. That was my first yatra with Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So it was really beautiful. And these pastimes reminded me of my first time going on a pilgrimage with Maharaj and 5,000 devotees. It was really wonderful. And I did not know this Kanyakumari pastime at that time. But now I came to know that Maharaj actually took a bath um, um, in the I mean in the ocean that day. Probably that was the day before we all gathered for the yatra. That was really wonderful. And also the next one also Maharaj that Srirangam was the last stop of the yatra, and there also Maharaj was actually honored so much by the Srirangam temple pujaris. Actually, they invited Maharaj on an elephant, and that was really a wonderful honor for anyone visiting that temple. So Maharaj had that honor of riding the elephant in Srirangam, and those two things. And also, one thing I wanted to tell was in Rameshwaram, between Kanyakumari and Srirangam, we had Rameshwaram also, and then Rameshwaram, Maharaj, um, the the place where Maharaj gave the class, it was actually a abandoned land full of snakes and all that. And the devotees, they spent, I think, about a month to clean up that place to have the pandal there. And there were so many snakes that were coming out when they did that. But somehow the devotees really spent the time in clearing that and made a beautiful vacant land for the pandal to go for 5,000 devotees to attend the classes. It was so beautiful. And the night Maharaj gave the class, at that time, Maharaj did not show any symptom of not being well, not being ill. And he gave the class and he did a beautiful kirtan at the end of the class, and everything. We were all taken to, like, we were in Goloka Vrindavan kind of feeling. We all 5,000 people got that. And the next morning we came to know that Maharaj had 104 degrees temperature, fever at that time. He gave the class. And despite 104 degrees of fever and not feeling well, Maharaj gave the class and also did the kirtan. It was like I was stunned knowing that. So that is one thing I wanted to share about that 2010 yatra. That was my first yatra with Maharaj. So if anyone else would like to share anything about Maharaj, please. Chiara Mataji.
I just wanted to thank you for the sharing. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Would you like to, anyone like to share anything, any realization reading those, the pastimes that we read today? I can say one more thing also, that about the kids' names, and the devotees all were thinking that Radhanath Swami was theirs. Um, in 2012 Mayapur Yatra, I got Gaurnitai deities and Maharaj named them. Actually, 8 of us were there at that time, and Maharaj named all the eight deities, and every one of us also felt the same way, like how the parents of the children felt. It was so wonderful having that uh, um, experience also.
Hare
So,
Krishna Mataji. Are you attend last year Mayapur Yatra?
no,
Radhanath
I
Swami
could not
Kartik.
go last year's Mayapur Yatra because I am not feeling well, and I don't know if I would be able to go for any yatras now with my health. So, yeah, I'm just cherishing on the memories of my previous yatras. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So, anyone went to any yatras? You can share your yatra experiences also. And,
Actually, I attended last year Kartik Yatra at Mayapur.
wonderful.
It, it was a great experience actually, Mataji. It means Maharaj is a very it's simple. I like his simplicity thoughts. And in Mayapur Yatra, last year Mayapur Yatra, Gauranga Prabhu make lots of beautiful prasadam and all. Every the 6 days of Yatra, it's very nice. Prabhu just make very nice prasadam and all. I like prasad was very great actually.
Yes.
Mayapur Yatra.
Yeah. Gauranga Prabhu and team, they make so much prasadam and very tasty prasadam. It's like different varieties of prasadam for so many thousands of people they cook. It's really amazing. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anisha Mataji. Okay, so now we will read Journey Home. If whoever has books, please open your books because I don't have the web version to share. So those who have books, we will read. We will be reading from page 153. Let me know who has books. Or if you have web versions, also you can join.
I, I have book Mataji.
You have the book, Mataji? Wonderful.
Yes.
So it's page number 153. Throughout the scenic terrain, that is the paragraph we are going to read, Mataji. You can start.
Is this practice 3 chanting the holy names of God, Mataji?
No, Mataji, this is throughout the scenic terrain of Bodh Gaya. Let me see. Did I miss something? Let me check where we are left last
No.
week. Yes. Yeah, throughout the scenic terrain of Bodh Gaya. It is chapter 7, section 2, chapter 7. Paragraph starts with throughout the scenic terrain.
That's it.
Did you find Mataji? Yeah, the
The
books may be
page,
different pages. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, page may be different.
Page may be different. Yeah.
Practicing the Dharma of Bhakti, Mataji. Yeah. Is it the 7th chapter?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, one second. It's a page.
Seventh chapter of it is section 2, seventh chapter, Mataji.
See the world with compassion, the highest expression of Dharma.
Mother India is the second section, Mataji, in that seventh chapter.
Yes, seventh chapter, practicing of
To
Dharma.
reach Varanasi, a boarded train to Delhi, that is what it starts with. Did you find it, Mataji?
No, Mataji, you can
But before
continue,
that, there is
Mataji.
Next,
an example.
Mataji. Throughout the scenic terrain of Bodh Gaya, that
Yes,
What is
Mataji.
the page?
Mataji, what's the page number on your book, Mataji?
153.
Yeah, mine also is 153.
Please go ahead, Mataji, if you find.
Okay, Yashoda Mataji, you please start reading.
Okay, okay, Mataji.
In the
Thro-
meantime,
uh,
Vandana Mataji will find out.
Throughout the scenic terrain of Bodh Gaya were scattered temples representing the various Buddhist nations of Asia. I wandered the countryside visiting these sanctuaries. In the peaceful setting of the Burmese Vihar or temple, I met Satyanarayana Goenka. A year or so before, this teacher had come from Burma to share an ancient technique of meditation. He invited me to attend a 10-day course beginning the next day. Moved by his sincerity, I became his student along with a dozen others. Goenkaji, as well as we called him, became like an affectionate father to all of us. His silvering hair was neatly parted to the side, and his clean shaven face radiated peace. A blue check, checkered cloth called a lungi was wrapped around his waist, extending to his ankles, and he wore a white button down shirt. As he sat in a cross legged position, Goenkaji shared with us the story of his own life. Born in 1924, he was from an Indian family that settled in Burma to pursue business. Although he attained great wealth and prestige, he was quite miserable, suffering migraine, headaches, and mental anxieties. He told us in 1955 he came in contact with my revered teacher, Sayagyu Yuba Kim. The experience changed my life and I learned from him for the next 14 years. His teaching represent a tradition that is traced back to Buddha. He explained, the Buddha never taught a sectarian religion. Rather, he taught the Dharma, Dhamma or Dharma, the way to liberation. He taught us that Vipassana, which means to see things as they really are, was one of India's most ancient technique of meditation. It was rediscovered by Gautama Buddha more than 2500 years ago and was taught by him as a universal remedy for universal ills. Goenkaji spoke about his teacher with immense gratitude. Although Kim was a householder and not a monk, he mastered the art of practicing and teaching Vipassana to fulfill a great dream and blessed me to bring Vipassana meditation back to India, the country of its origin. In Goenkaji, I found a man of honesty and integrity. He was easy to trust, His teachings were simple and direct. 3 times a day we had group meditation, and each evening he lectured. Through this meditation, he said, you will learn to observe life within and without, to witness it with neutrality, detached from the conception of pleasure or pain, success or failure, and happiness and distress. In this way, the mind gradually finds more and more subtle status of peace, and from peace, compassion awakens. Each day in the mid morning, I had private discussion with Goenkaji, and we became very close. With sincere concern, he extended himself to each of his students, and he asked nothing in return. His powerful presence and conviction sheltered his small following. At the conclusion of the 10-day course, he invited me to attend his upcoming course in Bombay. I agreed to meet him there. For several days, I practiced Vipassana under the sacred Bodhi tree from sunrise to sunset, and prayed to temple's golden Buddha for blessings. From Bodh Gaya, I traveled northwest to Saranath. It was in the deer park that Buddha inaugurated his preaching mission. There I studied the Bodhisattva vow, in which one follows in the Buddha's footsteps by making one's life a sacrifice of compassion for those who are suffering in the illusions of the world. While contemplating this virtue, I decided to travel to Calcutta to seek the blessings of a selfless soul of whom I had heard so much about Mother Teresa. I
Thank you.
traveled. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Shreyas Prabhu, would you be able to share the screen?
Can I continue, Mataji? I found the page.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Vandana
Hare
Mataji, you can
Krishna. Yeah.
continue.
I
Okay, so
traveled I traveled east by train to the Howrah station in Calcutta. Struggling through the crowds, I wandered on to Kali Ghat on the bank of Ganges. It was early morning as I walked to the temple of goddess Kali, a form of the compassion energy of Lord Shiva, who in particular destroy evil. Swans of people crowded on the entrance lane. Shops displayed pictures of the sword wielding goddess with her long tongue hanging down. Shopkeepers held out Jabamala, who holding up blood red garlands of hibiscus flowers. Each trumpet shaped red flowers, which were dear to the goddess, had 5 petals and a long dropping red statement uh, protruding from the center, resembling the pictures of Kali's tongue. Incense and jewelry were stacked up in overcrowded stalls, while piles of milk, sweets, flowers, coconuts, and red powder were aggressively sold as offering to the goddess. Defining music uh, bladed from the speakers as pilgrimage, shopkeepers and beggars collided. Lines of lepers, widows, and lame sat starting at the passers-by with hands stretched out, crying for charity. I wanted to give them something to elevate their miseries, mystery, yet I had nothing to offer but a sad smile and my prayers. At the entrance gate and shoving and shuttering, hundreds of people were streaming in and out of Kali's temple. I was not prepared for what I was about to witness. Across the goddess altar were altars stained with blood and flesh. Squealing frantically, a black goat was being lifted by the legs as it lead was sorry legs has was inserted between the bloody staves. Bare chested and chanting mantras, a priest swing a large wide curved knife down and swagged severed the head of the goat. Blood, blood spouted from its neck. A lifeless head, its eyes looking into nothingness, fell with the arid theorem to the ground while its body was immediately taken away for cooking to feed the poor. Now seated, I rushed outside the bank of Ganges, struggling to make sense of it all. What, what a striking contrast, I thought, between the blooded I see here and the peaceful sages I lived among who follow the same Hindu religion. I grappled to understand the apparent contradiction. Approaching an old sadhu who was reading a book and leaning back against the jackfruit tree, I revealed my dilemma. Years ago, he began, I was the priest in such a temple. With the sacrificial sword, I served the heads of many animals, but repeated nightmares began to haunt my sleep. Can you tell me about them? I asked. Yes, the goats I killed would invade my dreams. First, I saw them screaming in misery. Next, staring with va- vengeful eyes. They gored me with their horns and lacerated my flesh with their teeth. Then a monstrous priest and the man's body and the goat's head thrust my head onto the altar and served with my own chopper. Slapping his book shut, the man leaned back onto the tree. I couldn't take it any longer and quit my duties as a priest to accept the life of a sadhu. My eyes wide, I listened. In every religion, he said, people interpret scriptures and follow particular practices according to the level of realization. For those who seek the essence, the path in selfless service and meditation on God, for attaining higher material enjoyment and reducing sins, increasing pity in recommended. But for those who crowd material boons, there are variety of practices, such as the sacrifice you observe. The Vedas are said to be like desire tree, wherein we can find a path to fulfill whatever we seek. Kali is the merciful goddess of nature and is worshipped in different ways by different kind of people. But despite all they do in her temple, the goddess Kali is a vegetarian. Anybody want to continue, Mataji?
Anyone else would like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I?
Yes, sure, Mataji.
I gazed into the river's current. In the west, I reflected millions of animals were slaughtered behind the scene, invisible to the eyes of society. Here, at least those eating meat witnessed a proof of what was required to provide for the diet. Up until this day, I had been thinking that examining many paths would broaden my understanding of spirituality. But this incident gave me a deeper understanding that without a mature guide, apparent contradictions in every tradition could seriously bewilder me. As I walked along the bustling city streets of Calcutta, my heart dropped with anticipation for my next destination. Hawking goes by with one another for every inch of road. Trucks breath and roar, blaring their horns. Hundreds of bicycles and motorbikes clamored together. Sweating and straining, barefoot men tug rickshaws, taxiing whole families. Oxen huff, dragging overloaded wagons. Dogs, cows, buffalo, and sheep roam about, not stopping for anyone, while a swarm of pedestrians push and shove amid it all. I arrive at the convent of Mother Teresa, a simple one-story building where a Catholic sister received me with a modest smile. Welcome to the missionaries of charity, she said. How may I serve you? Joining my palms in respect, I appeal. Is it possible that I may have the honor of meeting Mother Teresa? Follow me. We'll see if it's possible. She led me into a simple chapel. This is our prayer room. Mother Teresa and the nuns perform worship here. I knelt down and offered a prayer. When I stood up, she led me out of the chapel and down a hallway. As we passed a dimly lighted room, she explained, "This is Mother performing her daily chores." I looked in and saw Mother Teresa scrubbing a large charred cooking pot with her own devoted hands. My heart melted. "Mother," my guide said, "this is Richard, an American sadhu. He would like to meet you." Mother Teresa greeted me with folded hands. "I pray to be forgiven for keeping you waiting, but may I first finish my service?" "Of course, Mother," I replied. The sister then led me into a small room, offered me a seat, and told me that Mother would come after washing the pots. In a few minutes, Mother Teresa entered the room and sat on a chair a few feet from mine. Although her aging form was shrunken and frail, I could feel her indomitable presence. Her face was furrowed and with wrinkles from a life of austerity, yet her eyes twinkled with childlike innocence. Although activity swirled all around her, she still had time for this insignificant soul. From her tender voice emerged the words of her heart. "The greatest problem in this world is hunger. Not hunger of the stomach, but hunger of the heart. All over the world, both the rich and the poor are suffering. They are lonely for stopping for love." Her gaze opened my heart to her every word. Only God's love can satisfy the hunger of the heart. There is no other solution. She waved her hand in dismissal of her own work as meager. Feeding the stomach of the poor isn't so difficult. Feeding the starving hearts of humanity with God's love, that is a great challenge. You see, our hearts must be pure to give that love. Her dedication to the mission of Jesus Christ was like an ocean, her every expression like a wave in that ocean. She continued, "Poverty is not only lack of piece of clothing, but a lack of human dignity and the beautiful virtue of purity. Poverty is a lack of respect for one another." Pressing her heart, she sighed. "When the impoverished people of Calcutta died in my arms, I see in their eyes a light of hope. I do not see this light in the eyes of many of the wealthy, powerful people of the West. Real wealth is in the hearts of those with faith in the love of God. The world is in desperate need of those who will give the poor-hearted this hope.
Thank you,
That
Mataji.
is it. Thank you, Mataji.
It's 11 a.m. So, shall we stop here or complete this chapter? Shreyas Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry I couldn't join earlier. We can pause here, Mataji.
Yes, we will pass here.
Okay.
From next week, we can start with other visitors entered the room. Thank you so much, Matajis and Prabhujis, for joining the call. And please forgive me for my uh, shortfalls. Thank you, everyone. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हिज होलीनेस राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज की जय हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद प्रणाम I'll end the call now. हरे कृष्ण
Mataji. Take care, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.